Yeah.
You the doctor who's treating David Hayward?
Yeah, I am. Who are you?
Cortland, Caleb Cortland.
And you like it shaken, not stirred.
How's he doing?
Well, he's not out of the woods yet, but he's hanging in there. You a friend of his?
No.
And why are you asking me about his condition?
Curious. I don't know if he's gonna make it.
I mean, he's stable, but there's probably going to be more complications as the night goes. Yeah, it was great talking to you, too.
Jesse, you're waiting.
You really believe that?
That was a private conversation.
Not as private as you think. Studies show that most coma patients can actually hear what's going on around them. With all the craziness going on last night, we weren't properly introduced. I'm Griffin Castillo. I'm the guy who pulled the bullet out of your husband's chest.
Nice to meet you. Now, can you get out?
Sure. Right after I check on your husband.
Don't call him that. He's not my husband. I mean, technically he is, but not for much longer.
His surgery was pretty hardcore, in case you're wondering.
What, do you want a medal?
I stepped in at this hospital. I did something that few surgeons in this country could do to save your husband's life. It'd be a real shame to see that I did it all in vain.
I hate to break it to you, but your old mentor has tortured half the people in this town, especially those people I care about.
You mean yourself?
Forget it. You wouldn't understand.
You and Dr. Hayward weren't exactly a match made in heaven.
No, not exactly.
Mrs. Hayward.
Don't call me that. It's Greenlee Smythe.
Okay. Miss Smythe. You're still David's closest relative. If something comes up, I'm gonna need you to be available.
I gave my approval.
For this surgery. There's gonna be other decisions to be made. He's unconscious. Being his next of kin, I need you to make those decisions.
Well, you know what? I don't want to be responsible for him. I don't want anything to do with him ever again.
According to the law, that's not an option.
Dr. Ponce, to the delivery room. Dr. Ponce.
Not now. I'm beat.
Dr. Ponce.
Getting that slug out of him took some skill, I guess.
I had a great teacher.
It's a shame, because the bastard didn't really deserve it.
Deserve?
Saving him was a waste of time.
I was under the impression that doctors don't get to choose who they save.
What is that?
It's an energy drink. My own recipe.
It looks like mud.
It's egg yolks, soy milk, bananas, and a dash of Tabasco.
Gross.
But it works.
Well, I guess you do need your energy since you were up all night saving David Hayward.
It was a long surgery, that's for sure.
Well, it must have been tough. I mean, your mentor is your patient. Talk about pressure, right?
Yeah, and I might have felt some if I knew everyone was rooting against me. But I've got this competitive thing, so.
Yeah, not many people like David.
I got that. Especially your husband. He admitted to me he wished the guy died on the hospital bed.
Oh, he only half meant that. Like he only half meant it when he punched you in the face.
It felt like he meant that.
Well, you did steal his wife, all right? So what'd you want him to do?
Just so we're clear, I am out of the wife-stealing business.
Well, that's good to hear. Not that you could if you tried.
It's good to know.
Can I ask you something?
Is it about Jake's ex, Kara?
No, it is not. It is about something far more important. Your name. Griffin Castillo. Castillo's Hispanic, right?
It's Mexican.
And Griffin...
Is not.
Right, not unless I missed something.
My mother named me after a man named Griffin. Dr. Griffin. She didn't know his first name.
And he was...
He was the man who brought me into the world. He was an American who was helping out our village. And he saved my mother's life, and mine too, I guess.
Well, I guess you were destined to be a doctor. It's like Jake, it is in his blood. When you're meant for something, you just know.
Yeah, you do.
That's how I feel about Jake and my son. They were meant to be in my life. And no matter what happened before, with me or with Jake, I know that
Amanda.
even if he thought,
Let it go.
what?
Kara. She's led sneakers. Let it go.
What does lead sneakers mean?
They're heavy. They weigh you down.
Okay, what makes you think that I'm harping on this Kara thing? Okay, yes, it bothers me that my husband flipped out on his ex's, whatever it is that you are when you walked in the hospital.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense.
Well, then what are you saying?
When I was in training, every grade, every surgical evaluation meant the world to me. Dr. Hayward was my god, and I was facing the biggest surgical eval of my career. I studied for weeks. I figured out every question they could ask me, every scenario I could face in the OR. But when I woke up that morning, my water and electricity had been turned off. My car wouldn't start. And I got a letter from the dean saying that there was a problem with my school loans.
That's awful.
Everything that could go wrong did. Everything that someone could do to ruin my morning was happening.
Wait, are you saying that someone did this to you?
Dr. Hayward did it to me.
What? Why?
Because I was operating that morning, and he wanted to see if I could do it while my life was falling apart.
Well, I would say that seems cruel, but it's David.
It was the greatest
so-
thing anyone ever did for me.
How is that possible?
A robot could do surgery. Focus is nothing if there's nothing else.
But there's always something else.
Exactly. Car won't start, bills to pay. I got a cute nurse giving me the eye. Patient was mentor. Doesn't matter. It was only here. That's what he said when I walked into the OR that morning. If you really want this, there's only here. Everything else is...
Lead sneakers.
You have what you want. What else is there?
I just want to know if she...
I'm gonna go back to the hospital, and I'm gonna see if I can find some med school kids to mess with. Hey, Kara. It's me. It's good to hear your voice, too.